Hey guys, it's Michael B. And this is, in fact, a Thursday night, not a chill and chat night, just a normal hangout with you guys to talk about what was a really interesting Arcade 1 update today. Anyways, I want to see who's here in the chat. Let's pop you out and bring you on screen. Thank you so much for being here. I see Chris Langs, Chris McCloy, Dan Z, Dan in St. Louis. Good to see you as always, brother. Dark Empire, Michael Cassius, Widow, Finley's World, Sterling Hall. Sterling, always good to see you. Let's rock and roll. So today was episode 5. We're up to 5 already of Arcade 1 update. And hey, Soul Red, what's happening? Episode 5 of Arcade 1 update. And the purpose of the episode was to announce the Infinity Game Board. JT Brunwick, David G, good to see you, brother. All right, so let's rock and roll here. So they announced the Infinity Game Board. So I have a lot of things to say about this episode. There was one really cool piece of information. We'll get to that in a bit, but let's go over the episode. So first off, there was no Travis. There was no host this time. Travis, as we know, is the YouTuber Arcade 1UP is working with, doing most of their shows. I assume he's probably going to be the new host of that 1UP show as well. He is currently in California doing some fun stuff. I don't know. But you know what else is in California? Arcade 1UP's office where John D is. So unfortunately, he couldn't make the show, but he could have done it live with John D, seeing he was in the location. Instead, we got David McIntosh and Emily, which I think a lot of you guys were fond of when they did the Arcade 1 update episode talking about the new companion app. Emily designed that. We also found out today she is one of the lead designers for the Infinity Game Board. So I see a lot of people here in the chat. Ask you guys, did you watch today's episode of Arcade 1 update before I get too far into it? Don't be afraid to all talk at once. You can just tell me. I usually do these shows a little bit more structured. I do an episode, but honestly, it was a truncated episode, 7 minutes. I didn't really feel like doing a video for it, so I just thought I'd do a fun live stream. Dark Empire says yes, he watched it. Come on, guys, get live, get active, hang out with me tonight. Bob Oif says I have not watched. Chris Lang said yes, I did. Underwhelming. Widow missed it. Mark's Mental Arcade missed it. Finley's World says lackluster. I didn't watch it. Chris Eek says. Sterling Hall says no. Dark Empire says waste of time. Calvin Wong didn't see it yet. All right, guys. So I will basically get you. Chris McCloy says no. I get the update from you. All right. So on tonight's episode, it was truncated episodes, only 7 minutes, where they officially announced the Infinity Game Board and really did a little bit of talking about it. So the first kind of issue I have with this is Arcade 1 update as a show is supposed to be for product updates. Like if there's an update to the product and a chance for the community to really ask questions and engage with one Arcade 1 up. So the really interesting thing about this is there seems to be an identity crisis going on here, because this show today was clearly a new product announcement. It was used as a medium to showcase the new product that launched today, the Infinity Game Table. However, is Arcade 1 update the show to do that? Or is it supposed to be that 1UP show? We all know that's returning on April 20th. That's the show where they do the new product reveals. Why did they reveal or release the Infinity Game Table on Arcade 1 update instead of doing that 1UP show? Is there any real purpose to having two shows if you're going to do the same thing on both shows? That's the first question I ask. So I'll throw that out there. The next thing is the Infinity Game Board itself. Let's be honest here. This was supposed to be a surprise. They had the silhouette there, but it was spoiled earlier today. Anybody in the entire world would have saw the post from Best Buy. It went up on their website today. Plus, Arcade 1UP spoiled it themselves. They put out a pile of announcements, so there was no mystery or intrigue going into the show. We all knew what it was going to be about, so that was kind of strange as well. But let's talk about the Infinity Game Board itself. I've got it loaded up here from Arcade 1UP's site. So I'm not using OBS tonight. I'm using, I forget what this program's called. Restream what we use for Super Game Room, dude. So let's see if I can get this up. That's not what I want. Share screen. There it is. So the Infinity Game Board, let me bring it up on the screen for you here, guys. So the price, don't lose your mind. That's the with the exchange rate going to Canadian, it is $4.99. The Infinity Game Board is going to be $6.78 here in Canada. And honestly, that is crazy. When you think about it, what this is a smaller version of the original Infinity Game Table that comes with less things. It doesn't come with legs. It comes with a smaller screen, smaller overall design. And realistically, when this launched in the US, I don't know what the price point was, but here in Canada, it was only $799 for the 24-inch. Then the 32-inch was $999. I don't know what the US prices are exactly, but looking at this, it looks like it's going to be $699 Canadian. So realistically, this new smaller, what they're calling portable, less featured Infinity Game Board is only going to be $100 less than the 24-inch Infinity Game Table. To me, they say we want to bring something out that's more family-friendly, more affordable, but Jesus Christ, $678 Canadian, $699 Canadian, $500 US. That price point is wacky. I saw my friend Steve V's Man Cave Arcade, Steve Victoria. He was actually put a comment on the video itself saying, guys, I think you missed the mark on the price point. And yeah, I mean, geez, the price is a little high for what they're offering in terms of the Infinity Game Board. It should come down a little bit. I don't know what their mindset is on it, but I don't know. This is not the product for me. I have an Infinity Game Table 24-inch when it went on clearance here. It's okay. It's not the best product in the world. Every now and then me and my daughter will pull it out and have a couple games, but it's not really all that special to me. So it's not a product that's designed for me. So let's go over the product details. Look at this. So the next generation, only widely available digital tabletop gaming experience. I mean, everybody knows what it is. It's the Infinity Game Table, just a smaller version of it. So what we're getting is 18.4 length, 11.25 width, and then box dimensions. Resolution is still only 1920 by 1080, so it's only 1080p still. We're not getting an upgrade to 4K. Weight is 7.3 pounds, so yes, a little bit lighter. Memory 16 gigabytes. It's got an adjustable volume, and recommended minimum age is 14. So yeah, the Infinity Game Table, Infinity Game Board. So I'm really concerned about this product. I think it's going to have some problems coming out the gate. I think the price point's a little bit high. And here's the next thing. I said this product wasn't really for me. And that's what's interesting about this, because this product really isn't dedicated to the hardcore Arcade 1UP fans. You know, the people that are probably watching Arcade 1UpDate or watching that 1UP show. And I don't really understand the marketing strategy here. Galaga Guy, what's happening, brother? Hello, Galaga Guy. We got El Captain, infinitely not worth it. Infinity not worth it. Paul Minderman says they need to open this up to arcade games. Give us some of those licenses. Well, Paul, I've got a little bit of a surprise for you. I'm going to talk about a little bit later. Anyways, I want to get this off the screen here now. I'll go back to full screen. Widow says I would jump on it if they put a tagline, own a piece of arcade history in a Pac-Man font. So the other thing I wanted to mention was, this is not a product for me. I don't feel that it really resonates with a lot of us that are, that 40 to 50-year-old gamer space. This is more of a product maybe aimed at families, maybe aimed at younger kids. I do have someone here that thankfully, because I invited all my friends, and this is the only guy who showed up because he's the best. Everybody else sucks, especially B Kong. But anyways, we got Justin here. What's happening, brother?
That's right. I am the best. All those other guys were just like, sorry, bro, I got something better going on.
I know. I've been trying to hang out with you guys for like 2 weeks now.
No, I just needed to get home real quick Okay, so what's going on?
Well, we're talking about tonight's Arcade 1UpDate show, or, the 7-minute piece that they put in its place. And we're talking about the Infinity Game Board.
This video wasn't for you, Mike.
I know it's
It
not for
wasn't
me.
aimed for you.
I know it's not, but that's the question I'm asking now. So their marketing strategy was, we'll just throw it up in the same format we do for all the rest of our content. So it's a one size fits all strategy.
Maybe they're using this platform that they created for themselves and for all things.
For all
Maybe,
things.
maybe like 4 or 5 months ago, they brought in this YouTuber and asked him a whole bunch of questions. And one of the things he said was, you know what you should do is if your announcement's not that great, just make a short pre-recorded video
Oh,
and
good job.
upload it.
Yeah.
And maybe that person also said, try to do it in one take, because that's where the power of YouTube is all about. So if you'll spend forever on editing, right? So do a single rehearsal and then press record and do it. And even at the very end, if you all of a sudden you accidentally say infinity game table when you meant board, you just say, I wish I could edit it, but that's the end of the show. We'll see you guys next time.
That's exactly what they did.
That's exactly what they did.
Good job, Obi-Wan Kenobi.
That's right.
But I understand what you're saying, but I do question, with a product that's so differentiated from everything else they deliver, putting it in the exact same format as the other information they put out to their hardcore fan base, isn't that a bit of a risk that it's going to... I love that you got an ice cream sandwich right now. You actually got me hooked on those, because I was talking to you one night, and you were Justin, and I don't know if I should say this. I'm going to say it anyways. Justin is doing a good thing, the opposite of what I do in life. He's trying to get himself in better shape, to live a longer life to spend with his family and friends. I'm trying to shorten my life as much as possible. But you mentioned these ice cream sandwich treats, and I've
Like
been
100 calories.
I've been doing a small amount of dieting recently.
130.
Not really so much dieting, so much as cutting down how much I eat, how much I consume. And I started with an ice cream sandwich treat at the end of the night. You
Yep.
inspired me.
It's good. 130 calories at 8 p.m. That's my only dessert. That's it. And I'm losing weight, and I'm eating more than I usually do, but not really. I just don't overeat.
So I'll go back to this. So you're saying, yes, they're just trying to use the platform they have. You don't think they've run the risk of potentially maybe alienating and impacting some of their viewers that normally tune into this show?
No, that's what's great about YouTube. You can make a video about pinball, and the pinball people will watch it. And then you can make a video about NES, and the NES people will watch it.
In my experience has not been like that.
No, you only have 500 people that are interested in watching your NES content now. That's okay. YouTube's just not sending it to everyone. That's also okay. The worst thing you want on YouTube is that there's this thing called impressions. That's YouTube showing it to different people, and then there's a click-through rate, whether they clicked on it. What you don't want is a really, really high impression and a super, super low click-through rate, right?
So what I get usually, I don't want that.
No. But here's the thing. What I'm trying to say is, if you make content that is only interested to a subpart of your audience, like, say, Mandalorian, YouTube doesn't send it to everyone. YouTube figures it out pretty quickly and goes, there's only like 30 people that actually want to watch this live. So we'll send it to those people. And those other people that never, ever, ever, ever click on the Mandalorian show, maybe we'll show it to them from time to time, but they don't have to click on it.
Yeah.
And maybe Arcade 1UP understands that.
So what you're saying is you're an exclusive Mandalorian channel now.
That's right.
All right. So I'm going to complain about the marketing a little bit more, and you're going to tell me why I'm wrong or right. I love the fact that you're here because you have this knowledge. So the other thing that I have a problem with is I think there's some identity confusion between the two shows. Obviously, Arcade 1UpDate is supposed to be used as a vessel for community engagement, talking about updates to the products and connecting with the audience, while that 1UP show is more the razzle-dazzle marketing show where you would unveil a new product. Why did they use Arcade 1UpDate to announce this product or reveal this product? And I would say, I'm going to stop myself and talk too much here now, but I would say, since they had Emily on, who's the lead designer, that's a good thing. She could have gave a lot of information about the product, about update specific things to the product, how it's going to change from the regular Infinity game board. I didn't get a lot of information like that from this episode. This felt more like a marketing episode for the release of the Infinity game table. Should this not have been an episode of That 1UP Show instead of Arcade 1UpDate?
Maybe they should just only have one show.
Yeah.
Maybe they should just pick the best name.
Yeah.
You know, like Chill and Chat with Michael B. or Super Game Room Dudes. Make up your mind.
I think they should just go with 1UP Weekly. Like, it's got a ring to it.
That was the original plan.
Yeah.
Here's the deal. You make some really good points. Why did they do... You know what the answer is, right?
I do.
They didn't think about it, and they're like, whatever. They're like, hey, Mason, can you make us a thumbnail? It's going to be about this Infinity game table. And he just put the 1UpDate logo on there, and they're like, ship it.
That's good.
The other thing is I watched your video on the analysis, and then I did a video. And in the video, I realized I was an idiot. And it's like, why did they use this color background? Why did they use Rampage? It's just whatever random thing Mason comes up with. That's all.
Travis, wait, there was a 1UpDate show today. Okay, I'm out. It was so funny. We were making jokes about it because I was making jokes about it. No one else was really participating. I just kept talking. But I was like, man, even Travis didn't want to be a part of this train wreck today.
Yeah, that was funny.
Anyways, I do have a couple other points that I was a little bit miffed by a little bit. So David McIntosh also used some of their scarcity marketing tactics again.
He did.
And I didn't like that because they don't need to do that. That's it's in their mind. It's part of something David said a long time ago. And I'm not throwing them under the bus, but they talk about this Nintendo model, and Nintendo's done a really good job of creating this FOMO for their product because people expect that if I don't get it right away, I'm probably not going to be able to get it. But when you come right out and say, guys, I'm telling you right now, there's only a small amount coming out and they are going to sell out fast. So get your wallets out, get to the store, rob a bank, do whatever you got to do. Get this Infinity game board.
Yeah, it's my understanding that there are certain people at Arcade 1UP that have been explicitly told that it's very important that you don't mislead the community with this messaging. That the community does not appreciate FOMO. That is like a video that's FOMO. So what's better to do in the video is just be very transparent, I guess. Well, the point is just facts. Just facts. Yeah. We're making 3,500 of them. You don't have to say anything more.
Yeah. It's like Bruce Willis in Die Hard 2. Just the facts, man. Just the facts. But he said FAX, but it still applies.
Right. The problem is when you say it's the commentary. It's we're only making 3,500 of them. Therefore, you better hurry up and no, just forget that part. You know, as they continue to come out with new cabinets, it's appreciative to be like, we're doing a video today. It's live. It's available now. You can pre-order. Those are all facts. We're making 5,000 of them. There will be more made in 3 months. We're going to do a second run of 5,000 in 3 months. You'll probably see them at Walmart, but right now it's a Best Buy exclusive. That's it.
Yeah,
you're just stating facts.
Yeah, that's all he had to say. All he had to say is limited quantities available right now, guys, but there will be more coming out later. However, if you want to get in early, they're available at Best Buy right now. That's like literally all you had to say. And then you have to say, buy it quick, consume. And then you put on your glasses and you realize he's one of the monsters from They Live.
From They Live, yeah. Yeah, I don't know why I have a feeling there's someone at Arcade 1UP that's like, no, you say this line. Yeah. You gotta say, act now. And it's like, I think there's gonna be more percentage that are just not appreciative of that extra line, and it's probably going to reduce overall sales.
Yeah, I know, I've probably told you this before. One of my first jobs coming out of university after I got my degree was, and degree is the same thing as I don't know what you call it. What do you call it in the States? No, you go to college, but university is the same thing as college in Canada, if that makes sense. Does that make sense?
Those are synonymous terms, and you may go to a university or you may go to college. That's a broader term.
So after I got my business degree, hey, there we got somebody. Oh, look, B, I love you.
Yeah, how's it going?
He didn't
Guys,
say he loves you back.
No, he doesn't.
I heart you. Does that
You
count?
feel strongly for me. You can say
I
it.
do. Yeah. In bed though, I'm a different animal. You're a beast. So
He's a really different animal. He is not a gentle lover. I love that sign you got in the background.
Yeah, that sign is pretty
Oh,
legit.
man.
You know, I
Dope.
heard there's this guy that does some really awesome signs. Have you lit yours up yet at all yet?
Oh yeah,
Is it
yeah, yeah.
still-
So
Yeah.
what happened was he told me I looked at the cable and I was like, I expected it to be a USB cable for the light strip, but it's actually a cable like goes in the back of the arcade one up. So I needed
Yep.
a 12-volt power adapter.
Yeah.
And I was like, so what do I need? And he said, just a normal 12-volt power adapter. And I didn't have an extra one from an arcade one up. So I thought I was going to order one from Amazon. Then I was like, I have to have like a million of these things lying around. So I found one, got it all lit up. I just need to take down the sign my wife gave me and put mine up soon.
Yeah, you inspired me to finish mine. So the one that's stacked there is also from Retro 530, but yours was all fancy. It was all like nicely completed. Mine was in pieces, but that's okay. Laramie's a good guy. And Arcade Mountain, that guy Brandon from Arcade Mountain.
Yeah.
They do good stuff. That Buck Hunter marquee, pretty good.
I know.
But, all right. You guys are talking about Infinity Game Board?
We are,
What did
yeah.
I miss?
Well, right now we're mostly complaining about that 1UP show, the
just in
7-minute
general.
truncated
Here's my
episode.
biggest issue with it is that they're still using that 1UP show countdown for a different show.
Oh, yeah.
Branding is like off. That's why it's so confusing. People are looking at it and it's like, oh, you get that 1UP show. So if they really want to make them two different shows, you got to start branding them as two different shows.
Justin explained it earlier. Yeah, that's good enough. Ship it.
It's the same guy that like makes their cabs as making the videos.
Yeah, it's good enough. Good enough. Yes.
So what we were just talking about, B, did you get a chance to watch their very long and detail-filled video they made earlier?
Yeah, 7 minutes is a long time. You would know, right?
Yep. Well, I can't go that long. So in the video, what we were just talking about is they once again use some of the scarcity marketing they've been using lately. So they talked about the supply of the Infinity game tables they would have at launch, and immediately the speech came out, guys, these are going to sell out fast, so get them. Go to Best Buy right now, go get them. And we were just saying Arcade 1UP really needs to stop doing that. It's fine to talk about the supply you have, but if you keep pumping and pushing like that, it is going to alienate people.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I think I even saw some chats already, like immediately as that happened, that said FOMO tactics kind of jumping in.
Yeah.
So that was, it's part of that recognition that I don't know if that really helps sell things if you're going to be putting it in that way. There's, and I don't know if this is the right product in the right market to do like that FOMO marketing tactic. If there was, I'll go back to the release of MBC2. That was one where like they knew it was going to sell out. And so that was a poor experience for people that couldn't get it. So in some regards, that could have been like a very good, like there's no more people that wanted. For this, I don't know how much of a market there's going to be for, a day or two to sell out. And then you still see it 5-6 days later and it's still there. Then it just kind of makes them look a little goofy by putting that statement out there.
Yeah, it's going to be challenging, especially at the price point, because honestly, when you look at, I know they discontinued the 24-inch Infinity game table, but if you look at the difference in price point between that and 24-inch Infinity game table and now this Infinity game board, which is even smaller again and doesn't come with the legs, there's not really that much of a gap between the price point on both those items. So I don't know if you can really justify this at $500. Well, I guess you have to now because the 24-inch doesn't exist anymore.
It's gone? You can't order the 24-inch at all?
No, it's been discontinued.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's an interesting one. I mean, one way you look at it, and probably our community is looking at it this way. If the Infinity game board is not something that you're interested in buying because of that $500 price, there's always the wait. Wait till it's $299. A lot of their products go down in price, and it's hard to say. The market for the board is a kind of a different. There's going to be some overlap, but I
You
think
know,
it's
the favorite thing that I saw in that whole video was the branded Arcade 1UP to go bag for the Infinity
Oh
Game
yeah,
Board.
yeah.
I was like, oh, that's pretty cool for like accessories that make sense.
And you know
So
what's cool about it? There's no weird shit. There's no blood dripping from an Arcade One Up
Yes.
logo. There's no like weird placement or any
Yeah.
crap like that. It just says Arcade One Up. It's
Yeah, it was
almost like
nice.
if they just released merch with their logo on it, with no weird stuff, or not tried to be fancy like the Ralph Lauren or Polo, or I don't know. I'm not with the kids nowadays. I don't know what they wear. What is it? Champion. When I was a kid, Champion was like a discount
Costco
brand.
socks.
Yeah, they
Yeah,
were a
Champ-
discount brand, and now
Yeah,
they're
yeah.
yeah.
Yeah, I remember getting Costco versions of Champion socks, and now they're
Yeah.
like a big brand.
Oh,
But I
huge.
remember the 32-inch table that I got, like thinking like, oh, it kind of is portable, but it's heavy. That thing is really heavy. And I was like, if I wanted to buy a bag for this, they sell like 32-inch TV monitor bags that you can like wrap up a TV. So I was like, I'm gonna buy a TV bag to like lug this thing around, because I think I took it to a friend's house once, and then like I was, I'm never doing that again. And so then it just stayed permanently. So I could see like why they did this. I think the market for folks that may already like this and want to make it more portable to take with them, it's okay. But $500, I mean, it is just a really oversized tablet.
Yeah.
When they marketed it with the Cyrus, the Cyrus videos.
Oh, we're gonna get
Cole.
into that.
Yeah. And it's 6 players can play on the smaller, version of the tablet. Yeah, it's more novelty than anything, I think, but it's fun. I think it's fun for the right audience. My daughter loves it. She's 6. So for little kids and people that just want to have a good time, that's a really good generation to be playing this.
I play it with my daughter sparingly. Like my daughter doesn't always like jump on and be like, I want to play with this. We got another guy here. I thought you quit YouTube. We haven't seen you in forever, P-Dubs. What have you been doing?
Dude, I've been busy working, man. You know, the day job comes first, you know.
Still working the streets?
Working the streets, man. Working the streets. I saw you sent the invite. I'm not going to stay for a long time. I'm just going to hang for a few minutes.
But I got a question. What efforts have you made, P-Dubs, on your transition to be a pinball channel? You got to step it up. This is what I've done.
Oh,
look at that snap.
Yeah.
Come on. You can bring it? This is live video right here.
Yeah, I know.
We're going to go live. We're going to do a tournament.
I got one in the background. Yeah.
I know. Hey, I got 3 real pinball machines downstairs, 2 in the garage.
Yeah. It's not real unless you have it on camera.
Yeah. Well, I mean, I might buy Elvira. You know, I might buy Elvira. So
goddamn right. I'm so excited about that. That's such a good table.
I'm really hoping that happens. But after that, that'll be like it for the year. Like, you know.
Yeah.
New machines will have to wait till next year. I'm not going to buy.
That's right. It's so exciting. That's what B was talking about. He said this. I was chatting with him about something, and he says, "Well, that's what I'll stick with this year." And I was like, "This year?"
So
right. There's always
the guy
next year.
The guy that I pre-ordered my Godzilla Premium, by the way, posted like a flipping out pinball, a bunch of inventory yesterday. It was like, we have this. He has a Godzilla Premium in stock for this price. And I messaged him all like, can I just get this one instead of like the new in-box pre-order? And it's like, yes, but the shipping would be killer. You just better off waiting for like the new in-box one. It's free shipping. But I'm like, all my friends have it. I have big FOMO right now. I'll pay the extra amount just to get it. Plus, it already has like these mods on it. There's a shaker motor and all this other stuff. Like, I'm gonna do it eventually, but he hasn't responded back to me yet.
So it's where the new in box has a different shipping than the used.
Their new in box is free shipping. I don't know why. Maybe it's direct from the factory to you. But this one, I would have to pay. I think $900 or so for shipping, which is like, you know.
How's my microphone sound? JT said my microphone wasn't working.
You sound a little low on my end, to be honest.
Do a microphone check. While you're talking, what's the bar show? I'm like about 50%.
What about now? What about now? Is that better?
Oh, much better.
All right, cool. I think I fixed it. Sorry, I wasn't set up for streaming.
No worries. So, just
So-
really quick, going back to before I asked P-Dubs about this, wanted to go back to the FOMO thing. And when I first got out of university, this story started to tell about 20 minutes ago. So when I first got out of university, my first job was I actually worked at a call center, and we were doing inbound troubleshooting for Sprint and T-Mobile. And one of the things that their corporate policy is you always had to maximize. And what maximize meant was, so you get somebody call in and they're like, my bill is astronomical. They're so upset. They've probably been overcharged for something. And then you literally had to, on every call, tried to have to sell them on something. So it feels like that's what the FOMO thing is. It's like there's someone in their ear and they're like, you're going to lose quality marks if you don't maximize. Yeah, these are going to be sold out, so you got to get them tomorrow.
All I'm thinking is your use of astronomical is pretty funny.
Yeah.
How so?
This damage is astronomical.
Oh yeah, well I was playing Godzilla right before this.
So, what did I miss? Because I got here late. What did I miss?
Oh, we're talking about that 1UP show and the new Infinity game board coming to homes today at $500 US for a much smaller, more compact device.
Yeah, I mean, I think it's a little overpriced, but you know, the thing about freedom of choice, you don't have to buy it if you don't need it. You know, so you know.
Well, actually, we do have to buy it because there's a limited quantity, and they're going to be sold out tomorrow if we don't get them.
How does your live chat feel about the price?
I
Is
haven't
it
seen a lot
fair?
of positive comments.
Is it fair? Is it overpriced? Let us know.
So I don't own one. Let me ask you this. What's the difference between the Infinity game board and if I were to have those games on my iPad?
Your Gaming Techie has a good comment that talks about kind of the big thing. So if you pull that up, it says like all these types are oversized
Well,
tablets. But
Yeah,
it's about
I mean,
sitting around them to play because the iPad versions don't have
yeah,
that.
you
sit around.
really can't cram 6 people around a 10-inch iPad and play these games, right? Like some of the
I've
games,
had 6
sure.
people around something about 10 inches.
Some of the games,
None of that happened.
So some of the games, maybe 2-player games, stuff like that. But you know, I mean, it is larger size for that purpose, but still. I mean, when I think about Monopoly, and I saw their video today, did you guys see the video where they were showing off Monopoly? It's funny that they chose that game because in all my critical videos about the Infinity game table, I said, just look at it when you play Monopoly, you know, because there's the board is so small, and that's on the 32-inch table. Now you're talking an 18-inch table with probably a board that's maybe diagonally, 10 inches wide at the most. Very small font. There's a lot of stuff on the Monopoly board. Trying to see that and play it seems, you know, it's hard enough to play Monopoly on the 32-inch table. Now it's 18. You know, like some of the games, in my opinion, just don't look great on the tables, but some of the games look pretty awesome. You know what I mean? But is this the video from earlier today?
No, this is just a random one on their website.
But you know, some
None
of the
this
board
would happen.
some of the board games are incredibly small on the 32-inch, and I can only imagine how that will translate on the 18-inch, right? So I don't know. Maybe you have to see it in person. I don't know, but I mean, this thing, in my opinion, should have been $300 or less. I don't think
Bingo.
this should have been a $500 product. I mean, maybe 200, maybe 300 is a stretch, but I'll say, you know, if this thing sits around and if they make a bunch and they don't sell, if they go on sale and you see it's like $300, go grab it. But I would hold off, in my opinion.
So you know what's actually wild? I will tell you about this. John D told me one time that they actually can't do a lot of sales on the Infinity game table,
and they haven't
because it's actually a very big seller for them.
That's interesting. That's
Yep.
interesting, and probably true. I mean, you know, sometimes when John D talks, you can't really tell, like, is he speaking gospel or is he just talking out his ass? In that case, I think he's telling the truth, because if there's one thing that I noticed last year, you guys remember how I used to track all the import sites? And now, like, everyone else does it for us. Like, I don't have to pay that fee to track all the import data coming into the United States. If there's one item that came in consistently last year, it was 32-inch Infinity game tables.
Really?
And even though a lot of us complained about the pricing and that we're not interested, there is obviously a market out there that we're paying, full price, $800-900, because containers kept coming in throughout all of last year. And you never saw the items go on sale. They only did one sale during the Christmas season. There was one sale, but that was it.
So
I
I
think
The batteries went on
novelty-
sale.
You think that
Yeah.
the novelty was that size, though, not so much the product
Yeah,
itself,
and-
but not
and-
the concept, but that size.
and maybe board game fans love spending money. If there's whoa, can you mute that? If there's one thing that board game fans love, is they love spending money. I myself have several Kickstarter orders out there where, guys, I'm talking, some of these board games are like $300-400, like a lot of stuff. You know what I mean? And it's like, it's a big investment. Maybe that particular audience doesn't care about price. They care about just playing games. You know what I mean? So,
Guys,
Yeah.
really quickly, we got a super chat here from Alan Desjardins. $22, all 5 YouTube giants on one screen. This is crazy, but appreciated. Thank you very much,
Yeah.
Alan. That is super
Yeah.
appreciated.
Very nice.
yeah.
I
I
mean,
thought
they
it was
can-
adorable that they didn't wear socks in this video. I thought it was really cute.
Who wears
I
socks?
This was like 19
I'm sorry.
Fox's video.
Shoes. They didn't wear shoes. I'm sorry.
Almost.
They're just ripping off Fox, right? They're making videos where you're sitting Indian style, right?
Yeah.
I think the filter's a little bit exaggerated.
So
It looks very muddy.
yeah,
Like
Yeah.
I do want to talk about this commercial. I was pretty critical of these commercials when they made them for the new deluxe cabinets, but I kind of justified it that they were going for an 80s infomercial flair, which made sense with the old 80s arcades. I will say that this doesn't make as much sense. There's nothing 80s about what they're doing right now. Like, I mean, the only person in the 80s that would possibly have a giant tablet is some kind of time traveler. So I don't really get why they're doing the exact same marketing infomercial video they did for the deluxe cabinets here.
Yeah, that's fair. That's super fair. It should have been a different format.
Oh yeah, 100%.
Just like not dress 80s, dress normal, and not
Yeah.
put the filter over it. That's all they needed to change.
Yeah, I mean, they could have just done a more modern, like if they wanted to go with the infomercial, do a more modern QVC style video. I mean, obviously, Cyrus is a great representative of the company.
He's great.
Nicole is, hilarious. She's done a really good job in these. It's just, this didn't fit for this one.
She looks uncomfortable, doesn't she?
Like the backseat of
I
a
mean-
Volkswagen.
Kind of. Yeah.
She didn't look like she was being held hostage in this video, though, Mike. I think they're on the road to improvement on these commercials.
Yeah, she wasn't there against her will this time.
The gun was just off screen this time.
I was thinking about that because is this the other one?
No,
No.
no.
I'm trying to find. I'll look for
It was there on the screen. You just went to the wrong video.
Oh, there
There it is. See, crisp.
Crisp.
Okay, I'm trying to figure out. Did they shoot it on the same day? I think so. Look at the back. They changed wardrobe
They did.
because
Guys,
it's totally the same set.
None of these people were alive in the 80s. They don't know what they're doing.
Hello, fellow kids.
You notice they didn't get rid of the bulge on the class of '81. They didn't unscrew the plexi.
Hey, do you guys remember we were talking off air when they removed crisp from all the listings? Remember
Yeah.
that, Chris? What was the word it got replaced with? We were talking about it. I can't remember what and I was laughing about it. I said, this is the new buzzword. You guys remember what it was? It
I'm
wasn't
trying to
crisp.
find it on their site
Clean?
now.
No.
BOE.
No, it wasn't BOE. There's a new
Went for
buzzword.
accuracy that time.
Like, we were all making fun of the word crisp in all their listings, and then they took crisp out, but they added something else, and it was hilarious.
Oh my
This-
God.
This was a few weeks ago. I don't remember what this was. So,
Ladies and gentlemen, we are being graced by the one, the only, the man at Arby's, Detroit Love.
Yeah,
gosh.
buddy.
Oh my
What's
gosh.
up?
Oh, he's
Oh,
not.
that's not Arby's.
Whoa, that's
Hey,
Twin
that's
Peaks.
not Arby's at all.
That's Twin Peaks right there.
Twin
Holy
Peaks.
cow.
See what he's
Yeah.
doing.
Yeah.
I'm just
Carl?
saying, I'm just coming in and say hello real quick. That's all.
Well, it's
All right.
appreciated, brother.
Ask her if she likes to play board games.
And Carl, you're looking great, bro. You're looking great.
I
Man.
always do.
Well, you got to bring those shorts to Cleveland.
I don't want to be part of this. I'm gonna get blamed for this. I get blamed for everything.
You do.
I'll catch up with you brother tomorrow.
Yeah.
All right, see you, buddy.
See you later, dude.
All right.
Detroit love. Oh wait.
Sorry, guys, we're
They
distracted.
don't have
for some
consent
reason.
to be on YouTube. What is wrong?
It's consent is implied.
Yeah. So, anyways, guys, Carl's a wild guy. Like, if you ever watch the show The Office and you see the character Creed Bratton, basically Detroit Love is their Creed Bratton.
That's accurate. Yeah.
Yeah. I'm sure Carl just forgot to turn his camera around, ladies and gentlemen. That wasn't intentional. So,
Yeah, sure.
yeah.
Sure.
Mistakes happen
Right.
live on air.
So, yeah, we just covered the infomercial. There was there anything else? Yeah, there was something else I also wanted to bring up that kind of rubbed me a little bit the wrong way. Sometimes I wonder who Arcade 1UP thinks they're marketing to. I mean, obviously their fan base is mostly guys like us, in our late 30s to mid 50s. So I see them come on screen and they're all going with like catchphrases like this guy is J-Lo or whatever the hell his name is, and I'm D-Mac, and like they've got all these like nicknames.
I think that's
and
just
I'm
how they roll.
Yeah,
Yeah,
that might
that's-
be how they roll.
They roll, yes.
That might be how they roll, but most of
What
us
the
are just
kids
like,
say.
that is dumb. Nicknames like that are so. I did want to bring that up, but it's not. That's not the big problem. It was the end when David said, "And guess what, guys? On 420, we're gonna blaze it up with our new product announcement." And I was just like, "That's like the most unprofessional thing you could have
Word.
said."
You missed it, Mike. You should. This is what you should have done. You should have been like, "What is up with their nicknames? They're so
Wow.
dumb." You got your D-Mac, J-Lo. Come on, what do you think about it, P-Dubs?
I don't. I don't
D-Love.
care. I don't care.
No, but
I got nothing wrong with the nicknames. I think it's kind of silly though that I mean, hey, it is what it is. I got no problem with nicknames, man, because I named my YouTube channel after my nickname I've had since like high school. So
Yeah.
it's like I got no problem with nicknames. And the blazing it up thing, Mike, come on, man. They're having a little humor, a little fun. We can let them have a little PG-13 humor, right? Like,
I guess so. I'm
I
probably
mean-
gonna stick in the mud.
I
about
mean,
that.
a little innuendo, who gives a crap, right? Now, if he actually like pulled out like, a little something like right there and said, "See you 420," then that would have been pushing it.
Really selling the
Then-
joke.
Then I
probably
would
be
have
funny,
said
though.
professional line cross. A
incredible.
little bit of innuendo, I don't care. But if they actually pulled out something and held it to the camera, then they would have been crossed.
Try saying that all again, Mike, but go like this.
Yeah.
Those
Yeah.
darn kids.
Get off my lawn.
I feel like Clint
Yeah.
Eastwood in Gran Torino
Yeah.
right now.
And Chris Lang said it right here. It's all a reference to Fast and the Furious, blazing speed in the live
That's
chat.
what it is.
I've never once
Yes.
said that in the movie.
Yeah. So, it's
So
all good, man.
I did
I
want to
think so.
mention one thing. We're talking about the Infinity Game Board here, and guys,
Again?
for everything and anything Infinity Game Table and Infinity Game Board, you guys really should check out your gaming techie. Now, you might not remember this, but when the Infinity Game Table first came out, Arcade 1UP actually sent him a demo 24-inch. He kickstarted for the 32, so he had both units, and he did a pile of coverage on the Infinity Game Table. He's like the number one source for it. So if this is a product you're interested in, go check out your gaming techie. He'll provide you with the best coverage on it. P-Dubs also did some really good videos. He's got one when he first bought it, 6 months later, 12 months later. Is it possible you'll do one 18 months later? It's
Yeah.
conceivable.
Yeah.
32 months later?
It's possible.
Possible.
It's possible.
5 years?
And
Yes.
eventually, you
Yeah.
should just switch to years, right? The
Yeah.
the Infinity Game Table in
Yeah.
2023.
Yeah. 3 years later, it now runs my TV.
See, you're doing it wrong, though. You can't say 6 months later. You got to say Infinity Game Table in 2023.
Yeah, that's true.
hacking
my
your
biggest
Infinity
complaint.
game table.
Do you still
in
have
20
yours, B? Do you still have your table?
I do. Yeah, it's no longer just storage in my room. It's actually in my living room. That is a functional table. I actually have the battery pack,
Yeah.
so I don't have wires all
Nice.
over the place.
That's
And when
Yeah.
my parents come over, it gets used. Like my daughters like go to like, let's play this with my grandparents. So she'll open it up and they'll do the drawing, coloring thing. So it's still in
Yeah.
use. I paid $1,000 for it because my name is in the credits.
Yeah.
But
And I just
your gaming techie has a good point though. My biggest issue or curiosity is the specs. I was worried about a tablet 5-10 years from now if it would still run well. So did they use this opportunity to upgrade their chipset products? That would be the biggest upgrade for the price point if it ran smoother and faster, which I don't think they promoted at all. So
Well, that's one of the complaints I made earlier before you came on. It's Arcade 1UpDate, and they had everything laid out to do exactly that. Because I mean, Emily, who's the designer who did such a good job of coming on that show and explaining the companion app, she was on there, but she didn't really have an opportunity to go into detailed specifics that would fit the Arcade 1UpDate format more so than the That One Up show.
B, do you remember what Cyrus told us when we were there? Because there was a number of things that he told us that I just don't think they cared to market, but they were good facts. That
yeah, I couldn't. We didn't.
I
pay
want to
that
say
much
it's
attention to it.
1080, not
Yeah.
720.
It is 1080. Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. What else was it?
Maybe it's monitor spec upgrades, but I don't think we talked about the actual chipset it being improved or not. And if they didn't mention it as part of the marketing, then that makes me worry that it's just exactly the same.
I remember him saying he didn't know if it was a better chipset, but he, as a user, noticed that
Felt
it's
it.
yeah,
Yeah.
it's like less lag. It feels snappier.
Who said that?
Cyrus. When we're in
feels
CES.
snappier. Feels
Well,
crisper.
of course, Cyrus is going to say that.
No, this was like camera turned off, no marketing. He was just telling us his experience, and he plays it a lot. Like he's a board game, and he's like, I noticed. He was just describing when I drag items across, it seems to follow the finger quicker on this version, but he couldn't explain why.
I'm going to say something really inappropriate, so I'm just going to stop. So
It's your channel, buddy.
What? No, it's all
Size
about finger action.
Was it snappy? No, it wasn't snappy. What was that word?
I've been looking it up on Twitter. Was it like an advertisement?
Was.
Yeah, I want to say like.
IPS?
How do we search our chat? I'll find it.
Oh, we said it?
Yeah.
So while he's doing that, there is something that did squirt out during the show.
Whoa.
No, I
Continue.
want to. This is actually something I'm really excited about. Like, there's a lot to be like, critical on this episode because mainly it was maybe something I'm not as interested in. So maybe I was a little bit more hypercritical. Okay, go ahead, P-Dubs.
The new word is sleek, not crisp.
Yes, I remember now.
If
It's
you
a
watch,
sleek cabinet design.
if you watch the Class of '81 Deluxe infomercial, Cyrus says the word sleek 3 or 4 times. It's pretty funny. So it's sleek, everybody. Sleek is the new buzzword for 2023.
There you go.
Yeah. So here's the thing that actually came out that I don't think a lot of people caught up on and is actually super interesting. She was talking about the actual build of the cabinet, and she mentioned it had legs, so you could prop it up on the legs or even put it angled. Then she started talking about pinball flippers on the side, so you could play pinball on it. And what a cool day to release the Infinity Game Board, especially if you can play pinball on it, because who does Arcade 1UP have a pinball partnership with that just launched a new pinball platform on Steam today?
Are they going to do that, you think?
I think so.
You think they're going to, that's the new partnership with,
You just reminded me, Mike.
huh. So I don't know. I heard her say that, and I just assumed it was something I didn't know about. Could
Is
you
there an
play
existing
pinball games
game
on
there, Dubs? I have to look. I haven't looked
I'm
at the
sorry?
store recently. If there's a new pinball, like their own version of like simple pinball on the table. Do you remember any games?
Simple pinball. What are you
On
talking
the
about?
current lineup of games for the Infinity Game Table, do they have anything that's pinball related?
Oh yeah, they have one. They have one pinball game.
Yeah.
It's like a 2-player back and back pinball game, kind of like kind of like the real 2-player joust pinball where you're trying to get the pinball down the other it's almost like playing air hockey but with pinball flippers.
Okay.
I forget the name of the game.
But if they are building an infrastructure to play pinball on it, they have an active relationship with Zen Pinball. Doesn't it just make sense to make Zen available on the Infinity Game Board?
It would be the single screen Android tables that you would play on your phone that they would do with the DMD at the top left. So it wouldn't be like the ports that they're doing over there, but possible.
No, of course not. Yeah, but we talked about this earlier. Just ship it. I'm sure.
And it's what P-Dubs is saying. They've sold a lot of Infinity game tables. We don't know the number, but it seems like a lot. I was wondering about that. Like you said they kept on ordering. It appears
they kept coming in all year.
Yeah.
I wonder how many were in each shipment because like they're not that big.
You can go back and look, but I'm not buying that subscription again to go.
Yeah, but doesn't it say like it's X amount of crates, but you just don't really know how many are inside it, right?
I think each container had anywhere from 300 to 600 that they would come over, something like that.
So MG says no, because you cannibalize sales of the pinball machines. But MG, we already went over this.
They're not doing it. Yeah.
They're not making any pinball machines right now because any pinball machine they'd have to make, they'd have to sell at a $9.99 or above price point. And they're just like, that's crazy talk. No one's going to buy it at this price point. So what do you do with this dormant license and partnership they have with Zen Pinball? Throw it on the Infinity Game Board.
Yeah, and Zen's a partner in that pinball machine. So they get, and their philosophy is pinball everywhere.
Yep. It's kind of like B and Mrs. Kangzeros's philosophy, sex everywhere. I mean, you never know when they're going to do it.
You're too funny.
Yeah, I don't know if they would do it, but it's one of those things with digital license, right? Because if you can port it to that platform and no one buys it, the only loss is the cost to port it. But if it's Android based already and Zen already has like an APK and they're just like plug it into your store, hook it up to your e-commerce you already have, give us the kickback, which they probably already have all that worked out because they got to give Hasbro a piece of the sale. So maybe it wouldn't be that hard. Would that get you to get a tablet then, or?
Oh God, no! I
think Fox and I are the only ones that don't have the table, right? Do you have one, Fox?
I don't have it. No,
Would you get one for pinball?
No, absolutely not.
Yeah.
Not at all.
Okay. So for people that don't have the space for pinball tables or don't have an arcade in their basement with a smaller footprint,
I don't think it's a bad idea. I mean, especially if you already have one, add a little more functionality. I'm not saying that, but as far as like, is that going to move the needle for me personally? I think if you're into the board games and $1,000 worth, if you really, really love them, you get them. You've probably already got this. 32-inch though for me is like that's the sweet spot. I mean, to go any smaller, this tablet doesn't make any sense. It doesn't make any sense at all. I mean, you can get an iPad for $400. It just does. You know what I mean? And I know,
but this is 18 inches.
No, that's true, and it does a lot less, so that's good.
Here's the thing with the iPad and the size. You can share screen, right? So like, what's the difference between me getting an iPad, playing Monopoly on it, and bringing the family over and going, oh, wait a second, send to my TV.
TV, exactly. And then poof, you blow it up. I know. I don't know. It's like, I understand. I guess it makes sense on paper. Well, no, it can't even make sense on paper.
Maybe
that's where you add up the costs and you're like, it doesn't work.
Fox, you're also talking to a room of people that did buy the 32-inch version, so watch out.
No, the 32-inch makes sense to me. But when you talk about the 18-inch, I understand they called it an evolution or a sequel. I don't know that that's accurate. I don't know that.
One of the original selling points of the original game board was that it was somewhat portable. It had these detachable legs, and I was like, I really could take this to somebody's house and play it.
Right.
It was beastly and heavy. It was like heavier than a giant like original flat screen TV. So it became cumbersome. I took it maybe once, and then I never did that again. So this was
Would you? So you bought the first iteration of the product. Do you consider this to be a sequel or an improvement or an
I
evolution?
think
Or
there's some people that actually really love the product and play it that would buy this version to be able to take those games into their library. Like if you compare, I mean, they're not all like they use this word AAA games, but they have some major like marquee games
yeah,
from
as
the
far as
board
board
game
games go,
industry on
you're
there,
right.
right?
Yeah.
Would you
Monopoly,
go as far as to say they have bangers?
totally
Smashers,
mashing and bangers, yes.
So
But,
shoots,
yeah.
and ladders.
do have another very specific question for you, B. Do you believe that you can put your model of the Mandalorian ship from season 1 and 2 on the Infinity Game board as well, or do you think it'd be too big?
The little legs probably wouldn't be able to prop it up well
Ah.
enough, so not as much. But that bag, we gotta see if they make a 32-inch version. If they made that bag able to carry the big one, maybe that would get me. That's the problem. I couldn't find a nice way to transport everything. But I like the bag.
So that's it. So that's the evolution. You have wheels and then a collapsible handle like luggage, and you just
You know, the
wheel
weird
it
thing
around.
though, so the 32-inch one had this cavity for you to put the battery pack inside so that
Yes.
like it holds it. This
Yeah.
new one, they mentioned that you can use a battery, but there's no pack to hold it. So it's literally just like you're putting it on the side
Like a
and then the
weird
battery
thing.
pack is there. So
Oh
it's
no.
powered by 12
They
volts.
mentioned that each box comes with a roll of duct tape, so you just tape it right on.
Problem solved. It's good.
Dubs, you were the first of us, I think, to really jump. No, and B was the Kickstarter. Your wife
B.
Melissa bought you the Infinity Game table.
Yes.
So, do you have any hope that this continuation, at least it shows that this is not a product they've gave up on, that this will lead to new IPs, new apps coming to the table? Are you
No.
excited that? No, you don't think it matters.
There's no hope, Mike. There's no hope. There's no hope.
We're not
hope
getting
is
D&D
lost.
on this shit, are we?
No. Well, I mean, they did sign a partnership with a couple big name board game studios, so there's potential. But you know, how long are you going to wait? You know what I mean? Like,
Yeah.
It's been over a year, and it's pretty much just been like Milton Bradley type games coming out. You know what I mean? Your Walmart games. Like, there's only been a few of them, like you know, Ticket to Ride and Around the World in 80 Days, which they're like, that's something, you know, someone without kids would want to play. You know what I mean? Like, I don't
Good point.
trust me. When I get home from work, the last thing I say to my family is, "Guys, let's play some Candyland, bro." Like, there's nobody here that wants to play that
It's
shit.
getting
you know what I
crazy.
mean?
Well, I do say
Let's
that,
have a
but not-
crazy night of shoots and ladders. Let's go. Get the beer.
I do mention to my family that we should play some Candyland, but I'm not talking about the board game.
It's a tough one because Ticket to Ride, that's a fun one.
Oh yeah, it's a good one.
But like when I want to go over to my family, like my in-laws' house, and oftentimes when we do, we play Ticket to Ride. That's one of the games we play, and it's like I don't think I could actually bring the Infinity Game board and be like, we're gonna play this instead. They're gonna be like, but we have the board game, and it's.
If they make a 43-inch version, I'll buy it.
I don't even know if it's that. I mean, it's kind of like when I'm playing board games, maybe I'm different. I don't know. When I play board games with the family, it's kind of like devices down, no screen. It's like on purpose, we're not having any phones or
Right.
technology.
We're counting the actual money from the Monopoly. We're moving the pieces.
That's
Yeah.
right.
I
And
know.
that's part of the experience.
that.
And then when I go over to the family, I don't ever say that, but that's the feeling. Like I think even grandma says, okay, phone's down.
I mean, I played the Hasbro Family Game Night on the PS3, PS4. We had that. We enjoyed that. And that's where I think such a device that's really just very specific to a very specific type of gaming and interaction that at a time I think would have been kind of a cool niche thing, but now everybody has a phone, everybody has a tablet. That experience is more mundane now. And so I think to your point, yeah, the fun or the novelty or the experience would be putting those screens down and going with something. But then again, at the same time, I'm gonna go on both sides of the argument. It would be nice to have an entire library of these board games in a single device. So it's,
Yeah.
you know,
Your gaming techie is mentioning that, and that
Yeah.
kind of makes sense. if you're like, I'm going to go over to the in-laws house or whatever, I'm going to bring the tablet, and it's like, which game do you want to play?
I've got them all. Yeah, that makes sense.
But, and I don't know what everyone's situation's like, but when I get together with my in-laws, there's probably only about 5 different games that we would play ever in the last 20 years. It's the same 5 games.
Right.
And then, like, my family, it's Farkle. Always Farkle. Who's got 6 dice? We're playing Farkle, right? I don't know if you guys know that game.
I have
it's like
no idea
it's
what the hell that is.
Yahtzee,
No idea what
basically.
Farkle is.
It's a
That
similar
movie tried
to
to do on you, Mike, in bed the other day.
Oh,
that
I
one.
like Farkle.
Yeah.
Got to
it's
stretch first, but yeah.
it's a variation of Yahtzee.
Yeah.
But
Oh,
you
I
just
love
need
Yahtzee.
dice and you keep score, right?
I think the audience for this is also just very different than the Arcade 1UP brand. Because for the Arcade 1UP brand, you mentioned it, right? Late 30s to 50s or so arcades. This is a completely different audience where my family and those with families, those types of games absolutely enjoy this. So I think the weird thing is, this isn't something you would put in your at-home arcade. It almost could have been a different brand under Tastemakers than Arcade 1UP.
I
So
think
maybe
it was
that's
originally intended to be.
Yeah.
If you go back to the video that the last time we saw the world's greatest salesman, Scott Bacharach, I mean, when he sold this, he said the next great thing from Arcade 1UP, but he really launched this as a separate product, a separate brand all on its own. He didn't say this was an Arcade 1UP product.
Yeah, because I think this is ThinkUp's project.
Yeah.
Right. This is that dude that we've seen before. Like he came with the idea. It was the other way around, right? With Arcade 1UP, where it's like Arcade 1UP and whatever behind the scenes that caused them to build that first arcade.
Walmart came to them and
right?
said, "Hey, make these."
Yeah, but then they went to ThinkUp and said, "Help us with the design." So there's a partnership on the design. But I think this is their product. And if you even look at the commercials, it says presented by Arcade 1UP.
Yeah. They're just using the brand to help launch it. And they talked about Kickstarter being the place for board game folks. That definitely makes sense. But Carrie Hardy's here, so we just have to switch to talking about pinball now. So back to
right.
being a pinball channel.
That's right.
Yeah.
Pinball channels,
Pinball
turn your
machines.
cameras on.
Oh, so
Carrie,
I have to leave now.
Carrie, P-Dubs is on the fence about purchasing an Elvira House of Horrors. There is one available in his location, and we are trying to
If
convince
I
him.
bought it, it's so available, Mike, that if I ordered it, they will deliver it Tuesday next week. That's how quick I would get it.
Wow. You
You
guys
have always wanted an
available
Elvira
pinball.
table.
That's
I
quicker
want-
than
I
the
want-
Infinity game
I
table.
wanted Scared Stiff though, but I mean, it's the newer one. It's what? So,
I don't know where Scared Stiff lies, but last time I checked on Pinside, Elvira House of Horrors was listed as number 10 all time, as the 10th
know.
best pinball table of all time.
Ugh.
Statistically, it's the best table.
All right, let's see if we can get P-Dubs to order it tonight.
Yes, order Elvira. Order
No.
Elvira.
Let's do we could do a panel show. Okay. B, what's your reasoning?
Pinballs hold their value. So even if you get it now at the price point, you said it was high, somebody will pay you 15 grand for that in about 5 years if you wanted to let it go. Best selling pinball. Best selling point, I think.
Fox.
Who needs that much money in their bank account? Come on. Come on. 5 figures, schmigures.
That's true. That's
Come
true.
on, Mike.
Okay, I'm going to use a line from one of my favorite movies of all time, Bill Murray and Scrooge. It's only money.
Nooner's made the best point in the chat. Don't settle, P-Dubs. You want Scared Stiff. Hold out. Like, there's a couple Scared Stiffs available on eBay, but they're about 12, 13,000, right? Like, what is nice about Elvira is it's a newer table, brand new, out of the box, under warranty,
Mhm.
and it's about $2,000 cheaper than that. You know what I mean?
Oh, wait.
And it's like,
It's only $2,000 cheaper?
yeah, because with shipping and tax, because they're delivered to my house, but they want to charge me a little bit for shipping. So, yeah.
I think once you go beyond $5,000, get what you want. Do not settle.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like,
yeah.
yeah.
And I just got the episode 1 pinball. It's been here less than a month. You know what I mean? Should I really go get another pinball table?
Yes.
Yes.
Yeah,
I knew
we're not
Mike
gonna-
was going to
yeah.
say that.
Yeah,
I do
but
like I was gonna say that.
here's the thing about Elvira House of Horror. Sure, maybe they'll become available. You can buy them secondhand later. But if I'm not mistaken, B, you can correct me on this because you're more of a pinball channel than I am, dedicated pinball channel. But
Not true.
We're all pinball channels now, according to other YouTubers.
I know
That's right.
I'm Michael P now. The
I'm
P is
also-
for pinball.
Yeah,
Me too-
we
me-
should
me
we
too,
should
yeah.
do we should start a pinball podcast, literally, because that's all we are now. We're just
Yeah.
pinball channels.
Hey, next year we're all going to Texas Pinball Festival, right? Isn't
That
that,
is
the
true.
main
I
Yeah.
am
idea?
going next
Yeah.
year.
That's right.
Yep,
Absolutely.
we will be at Texas Pinball Festival next year. Yep,
I'm going
that's
to go
official.
to Whataburger. It's going to be
I
awesome.
love Whataburger.
Yeah, good stuff.
So we all agree P-Dub should buy Elvira House of Horrors.
Done.
All right, yeah, all right.
There's some good points. Like, okay, so how well in Arizona is that pinball community for you? Like, if you were, Carrie's on. Okay, that's it.
Look at this gatekeeper in the live chat. Look
Let's
at
see.
this.
I'm gonna go
gatekeeper.
test my bokeh real quick on my camera. Like, give me 1 second, guys.
Yeah. His Boca? What did he
Bokeh?
get a motion tracker?
Boca. That was Del Boca Vista. That's where
Yeah.
Jerry Seinfeld's parents were, wasn't it?
Yeah, too funny.
No, listen to me. I'm the kind of person that gets all my enjoyment out of watching other people buy things. I don't know why, but it just makes
It's not
me
your
happy.
money. That's
Yeah,
why it's
but-
way more
and
fun that way.
I've been watching tons of footage on House of Horrors the last couple of weeks because there's one available here in Canada through Nitro Pinball, and I know I can't get another pinball table yet, but a boy can dream, can't he? So I've been watching tons of
Yeah.
stuff on it.
I've
It's
been
such a
too.
good table. Yeah,
I'm
Wait,
trying
wait a
so
minute, wait a
hard.
Wait a minute. We saw Carrie. We saw that Arcade 1UP Blitz mod video
Yeah.
that you posted on your channel. Stay in your lane, bro.
Yeah, like look, I've been working on it. So let me tell you about the brand new Foo Fighters cabinet. So when you're thinking about buying the Foo Fighters cabinet, you might be wondering these 3 things. So let me tell you about the Foo Fighters cabinet. Now,
What is
I got
this
to play
video?
this at the Pinball Festival.
Is
Now,
this a Carrie Hardy
think
impersonation?
Carrie
this
Hardy
is
impersonation.
maybe the best table that has ever come out. Now, keep in mind, I've played a lot of pinball games in my time.
Whiplash.
Some of the things that I've been playing and saying about other tables might surprise you. But one thing for sure,
It keeps going.
Cue dubstep.
I think I could be a pinball table, a pinball channel full time. I
Pinball-
just got to learn
pinball
to say
machine.
machine.
Did you see?
Pinball
Did you
Pinball
see?
machine.
Did,
Yeah,
did you see Carrie Hardy's NFL Blitz content? Did you guys actually watch it?
Yeah, it was good.
It was great. He's got these beautiful $10,000 plus pinball machines behind him. He's like, I'm Carrie Hardy, and today I'm going to tell you about this piece of shit right here. This NFL Blitz cabinet that I bought. This thing, man. Holy cow. It's a real piece of shit. Let me tell you. But you know what I'm going to do, ladies and gentlemen? I'm going to mod it. That's right. I'm going to mod it. I'm going to mod it. It was the best video ever. It was the best video ever. Oh, I love
my
it.
God.
Carrie,
Okay,
you're
so-
a good guy. We love you, man.
Yeah,
so,
thanks.
Carrie, can you please tell P-Dubs he should buy the Elvira House of Horrors table that's available to him?
Yeah. I should.
You should. Make it happen,
should.
Captain.
All right.
Make it happen. Make it happen. I'm looking at a local
don't do it.
Godzilla right now
Yeah.
that I'm
I
like,
love
dang
it.
it,
I
I have
love
I just want to get my
I
Godzilla.
know.
It's been too
But
long.
I don't know about that B though, because it's $900. There is $900 you're just throwing away.
So there's a local. I just looked up a local place that has one. That's.
Did you tell him my Dungeons and Dragons story, or do you? not
Oh,
wanna
you can
share
go for that
right
one.
No,
Yeah.
you tell him.
Yeah, so I was gonna pick up Dungeons and Dragons here. Guy was selling it, the original game for the 90s, and guy was selling it. He wanted 4,500. I offered him 3,000. He said no. Then I offered him 3,500. He said no, and we agreed on 4,000. And at this point, I feel like
Agreed.
I'm overpaying at this point, but I really want the table, right? It's like on my top 10 list. Not my top 5, but it's on my top 10 list. And sure enough, we agree. And then I'm like, okay, I'll talk to you tomorrow. I'll arrange coming to pick it up. And then he messages me in the morning saying, hey, another guy messaged me overnight. He agreed to my asking price and he just picked up the table. And I'm like, you know what? I hate haggling, but then again, I didn't want to overpay, but I missed out on that Dungeons and Dragons table. So I'm really sad about that. So,
But did you miss out?
No, in the long run,
Yeah.
probably not, but still would have been a fun table to own and keep.
See,
Just
my
not that
issue with
price.
this is a deal was brokered. A deal was agreed to.
Oh, the
Once the
guy's
guy
a
said-
slime ball. I'm
Once
not-
once the guy said, I accept your deal of $4,000.
Yeah.
That's it. Transaction ended. That comes off the want ads, everything like that.
Nope.
It's
Sale is
marked,
made.
it's listed as
Yeah.
pending. Exactly. Yeah.
Nope.
Yeah.
Nope, he didn't do that. He's
It's
all
the right
like,
thing
okay.
to do.
You
You
know
know?
what we need to do? Do you have his address? Did you set up like a pickup? Because I'm gonna
Mike.
send him a flaming bag of shit in the mail.
Yeah. And I would love to have a silent scope. I just have no room for that arcade machine. Can you imagine
It's
having
way
a
too big.
real silent scope in your
I
house?
love
This
it, though.
thing is massive. JT put that in the chat. I would love to own one.
Okay, here's the real skinny. What you need to do is not buy another pinball machine. What you need to do is get that great arm wrestling arcade that we tried at
Oh,
Galloping
yeah.
Ghost.
yeah. Get
that
that
was
one.
great.
That's
And
the
ju-
one you want.
I just play with myself.
That's what
Like
you do in your
normal.
garage,
Yeah.
anyways.
Yeah, that's right. Well, you're married, so
No different.
Yeah. Like what it should have been would have been like, hey, I got a guy coming. If he falls through, I'll let you know. But the other guy was like, I'll pay your asking price. You know what I mean? And he just
Doesn't matter.
went-
He agreed to
went for
your
the money.
price.
money
at that
was more
point-
important. Money was more important than honor at that point.
well, that's the problem. He has no honor.
Yeah.
No honor.
Yeah. Whatever.
Money talks. Money talks. What can you say? So
Yeah.
Yeah. Whatever. Whatever. It is what it is. Absolutely, Carrie. That's true.
That's a good point. It's a good point.
Five
what I
finger
was-
discount, literally.
What I was saying
Okay.
earlier is the question I have: do you know how many pinball machines flow in Arizona? Because that could, like, for example, if you bought a pinball machine and you think you bought it at the price it's worth, could you flip it for and get exactly your money back, or is it just like you're going to be sitting on, because like
Yeah.
maybe
Well,
you
it's-
live in
it's-
Arizona, but I live in Des Moines, where like cabinets don't move here.
Yeah. Well, the problem with OfferUp and Facebook Marketplace is if you ever search arcade or pinball, all you see are about 10,000 arcade went up advertisements right
Hmm.
now. Kind of burying everything. You know what I mean? But I say here in Arizona, I think I see usually if you go to OfferUp or Facebook Marketplace, check the Phoenix area, type in the word pinball, you'll probably see about 5 to 10 machines always on sale. There's always at least 5 machines up for sale around the city. Does that make sense?
Yeah, in Des
And then
Moines, it's
sometimes
zero.
more. Yeah.
Zero machines.
Yeah.
Every now and then I see an advertisement
Mhm.
from the local distributor just saying that they have
Yeah.
like Mandalorian in stock.
But still, think about it this way. Even though that may seem like a lot, like 5 to 10 machines a month, guys, we're only talking like 5 to 10, like 5 titles, one of each in a city of, 3 million people. So are you going to, it's not like you could just say, you know what, today I feel like buying Super Mario Brothers Mushroom World Pinball Machine, and I'll just go to Facebook and there'll be one there. That's not how it works, right? Like I had to wait 2 years
Yeah.
before someone finally posted the Star Wars Episode 1 for sale local for me to pick up. It took 2 years of checking almost daily. Like, will someone ever post that machine for sale?
Right.
So they're not easy to come by. But I can tell you what, if I wanted an arcade 1UP Mortal Kombat, they're on
Let me
Facebook.
tell you something, brother.
I could have had 9,000 of them.
Wow.
So yeah, there you go.
Yeah, so let me show you real quick. Oh wait, this isn't gonna work. How do I do it? Oh, right here. No. There it is. So Des Moines area, you do search for pinball, and it's like the first option isn't even pinball.
No.
There's a barbed wire, there's a time zone, and then a Bally's, and then that's about it. And then it's
That
like
was a King Tut, man. That looked pretty cool. That King Tut.
King Tut.
Yeah, classic wide body. Take a look at that.
There you go.
Look at that.
$950.
Old school. Go pick that up, Justin.
And I'm gonna steal his guitar too. He's got a nice little Squire bass.
Would you enjoy that though, P Dubs? I think like
I like
I have
classic
an,
pinball.
I have an
like that. Although I would take that barbed wire over King Tut any
Yeah.
day of the week, man. That
So
barbed wire
I
is
have an
fun.
appreciation for classic pinball, but I have a concern. Like someone reached out to me and offered to trade me my arcade 1UP Ridge Racer for a what was it? It was a 73 Bally game. I can't remember the name of it now. And I asked my friend that fixes pinball machines. He's like, I don't mess with the electromechanical pinballs. They're just too hard to fix. So it kind of scared me off because this one was already Williams Gulfstream. Sorry, that was the name of the game.
Yeah.
But
I
it was
hate
just
you guys.
why?
This is actually on my list.
Oh yeah, you wanted this one too, didn't you?
Yeah.
Oh, X-Men pinball. There you go, man.
I've been looking, and it's 5 days ago. I didn't see it. It's in Kansas City. I don't know.
Well, if you're going to become a dedicated pinball table, you got to bump up those numbers. You can't just have 2 there in the background.
He has
Yeah.
4 already. You're
I have
already at
5.
the threshold.
Well,
You have 5?
Well, I'm sorry. Foo Fighters doesn't count.
5.
It's not here yet.
So, are you going to stick with the premium, or are you going to drop down to the pro?
That's a tough one.
Do you play both yet?
Yeah. Oh, wait. I have not played the premium Foo Fighters. I've
Mhm.
only played the pro.
The Dead Post is actually a pretty fun feature.
There's
So
a
that
there's a
fitting-
Twilight Zone for sale by me. 12,000. Twilight Zone.
Oh, that's a lot.
Yeah. Family Guy for 6. Who doesn't like Family Guy, man?
All right, I have a question I need to ask you guys then. So I don't know when my new inbox Godzilla's coming. I ordered it in August of last year from Flippin' Out, and they said that Stern hasn't told them when their production order is coming, but they said it sometime this year. And Zach from Flippin' Out was like, "It's a popular pinball machine. They probably should never sell out, and they're gonna make them eventually." But I've not heard from him like a timeline, and it's been almost 6 months since I paid in full like for a pinball machine, and I'm like, these 2 guys got it, just give me the one that you have in stock. So there's a local pinball dealer that has it, but it's $11,000, but it's a premium version that has art blades, a shaker motor, the HD glass installed already,
Yeah.
with some of the playfill mods, and so it's like a
So what's that?
grand in mods already. It's local. I wouldn't
Is
have to
it?
pay shipping. I think so.
The shaker's 100, $250 for the glass, right? And then
Art blades, and then there's
how much is the
playfill
art
mods.
blades?
Art blades are like 100, 150.
And the
something like
art
that.
blades are sold out everywhere.
Yeah, so it has like
That's
the actual
FOMO talk,
official
though.
art
Wouldn't you
blade.
say more like it's a $500 in mods?
But it's like it's Orange County Pinballs. They have it, so I'm like, and it's local, and I wouldn't have to pay for shipping. And I'm like,
Okay. That's
wait, the next Godzilla run is in June. I thought they said it was in
Yeah.
fall. I don't know.
Hey, do you guys want to see a really cool arcade machine that's for sale?
Sure.
Yes.
yeah.
All right.
Always.
All right. Mike, add it to the stream, but I'll zoom in. We have here Batman Forever. Take a look at this.
Oh,
Oh
jeez.
man, Nostalgia's pants would be around his ankles right now if he was here.
I
Look
love
at
Batman
that.
with nipples.
Look at-
Look at the
man.
Batman
Sexy.
shaped control panel. How can you not want that?
Yeah, man.
I want that. That's awesome.
Look at that.
Bat nipples and all.
Nicole Kidman, bat suit with nipples.
Mm.
Look at that thing. That's so funny. I love the shape of that control panel, man. So yeah, there you go.
But look what's behind there. It's even better. What is
He's
that? A
getting-
vertical?
He's got Neo Geo there.
Neo Geo.
No, to the
He's
right.
talking about
Fighter.
the candy cab.
Yeah.
Oh yeah. right
Be
here.
like, and include the candy cab.
yeah, throw it in. Throw in the candy.
No,
cane
no,
as
no.
well.
What you need to do is, I'll buy your Batman Forever, but I want all your totes. Empty them out and just give me all the loose totes.
Empty buckets.
I just want your totes. Just give me the totes. Oh man. Oh, do you guys like the game Narc? Narc is for sale.
Yeah,
Eh.
Snark was
Alright.
awesome.
Yeah,
So
we
I
got a
think I
Narc.
figured it out. So all of us here are going to turn into pinball channels.
No,
but
we're
you-
already pinball channels pretending to be home arcade channels.
But
That's
Michael
the way it's always
Bthegamegie,
been.
This is how it works, though. we need to
P-dubs, Pinball
continue to
dubs.
call them tables.
No.
No.
Yeah.
We call them tables. That's what we call them. That's our nomenclature. We
Right.
But they
own
are tables.
tables.
In the
And we
VPN
can-
community, they're called tables. Like
Yeah, that's why we
so
keep saying it. Yeah.
But is that wrong then? Is it
No,
only
we
applied
hold
to
on
VPN?
to our roots. We come from a culture. It's called tables, god damn it. They're tables. You can call them machine.
Man.
That's your culture. And then we let the community decide.
Damn noobs! All right, raise your hand like this, and then like talk to all these 1UP YouTubers,
So
home arcade YouTubers.
Mike, I don't know why you get upset about this, Mike. Hang on here.
What?
Let me do this. I know you really want Robotron from Arcade 1UP. I know you really do. But I'm sorry, man, but this Smash TV is like for sale. This is a real Smash TV for sale here in Arizona right now.
Well,
How
shit.
can you not look at the
Come
artwork?
on.
That is so much cooler
I
than
love that
Robotron.
cabinet. I love
That is way cooler than Robotron. I would love to have this in my arcade.
Listen, that's fine. And if they make a Smash TV, I'm sure lots of people like it. It's probably the right choice.
God,
But for
that's
me,
gorgeous.
I wouldn't buy it. Even if Robotron was on it, I wouldn't get it because I want a recreation of Robotron if I'm going to get an Arcade 1UP version. And
Yeah.
I don't want
Oh, look at what Carrie wrote. It looks like Pitbull.
That's true. So, anyways, I will say this again. For me, when I buy these, I don't want like mini multicades with cool art that I can play games on. I want a recreation of the original arcade. And if they're not going to do that, I'm not interested in it. I can play Robotron on my At Games Legends Ultimate. It works really good. Now with the bit LCD marquee, I mean, I get the nostalgia. I'm good. If they don't make an exact Robotron, I just don't care. I don't care if they release a cabinet with it on it.
Yeah.
The game is
Okay.
so good, though.
Okay, Mike.
What, Smash TV or Robotron?
Robotron.
Robotron's the perfect arcade game.
It's so good.
Mm-hmm.
But tell me, Mike, you don't want this one either. So here, last one I'll share. I know I'm hogging your
Where's
stream
Detroit
here.
Love? I wish he would come back on and show us more of his adventures.
There you
Oh
go,
yeah, Sega
Spider-Man.
Spider-Man. Yeah.
Look at that. Isn't that cool?
Yeah.
Should Arcade
was-
1UP do a Sega Spider-Man cabinet?
They
That'd
could,
be a
right?
one-game cab.
They could.
Like, where's all the Sega games? Arcade 1UP. We got Golden Axe, and that was it.
Dude, look at that. It's their 4-player with Big Blue Marquee. That's
is
all
like-
it is.
There you go.
So this was on one of your guys' streams the other night. Someone brought it up in the chat and they said, "Where's all the Sega games?" And the funny thing about that is I heard that iArcade paid a fortune for their Sega license, and they set a price that was so high, it's hard for any other company to work with them now to get an ROI on working with Sega. So that's why you don't see Arcade 1UP doing a lot of Sega products.
That's a good theory. I mean,
Crazy.
it fits. What we don't know is the details behind the scenes.
Yeah, we
What
don't.
we do
Never
know is the outcome, and what you've explained fits the outcome.
And also Spider-Man will be a one game cabinet.
Or there are no Sega games that are any good that anyone could actually do right now
man,
with the
there's lots of
hardware.
Poor
Lots of
mouth.
good Sega games.
Tons of them.
No. I'm talking about with all the
Right.
challenges and the restrictions. Like, name a good Sega game. You could probably come up with that's actually owned
Sonic
by Sega.
Fighters.
What's that run on? What's that run
So,
on?
Mike,
Which Sega platform
Joke.
does it run
It's
on?
not a good
Like,
game.
here's a leak from Reddit. This is the revamped Casino Cade by Arcade 1UP. If you want to share, that
It's
photo with
pronounced Casino Cudi.
everyone. Yeah. So there's
Pretty
your.
delightful.
They decided to drop Wheel of Fortune and just go with straight up frogs and money. Frogs and money, ladies and gentlemen. So there you
Frogs
go.
and
There's-
money.
There's your Casino Cade.
What's
So-
it? Wait, what's happening in that picture? Can you zoom in a little bit?
What are you looking for?
Okay, look at the hand. Zoom in on the hand.
And then the Crocs.
Okay, what is that? Is that
It's
a
a-
real person's hand?
I think so.
Are
Okay,
they
now
missing
go
a
look at the
thumb?
feet.
Oh, they don't match.
They're wearing Crocs. It must be nostalgia.
But is my eyes deceiving me, or is that a very small person with a fake
That's
hand?
that kind of language is hurtful.
I think it's a very large
No.
casino.
I
How
think
dare
that's a
you.
doll. That's a doll. Look at the hands. It's like not a real hand. It's like
It's not a real.
All right.
it's a doll.
Little hand detective.
So weird. He's such a goofball.
It's almost like you're trying to decipher the arcade 1UP photoshops when they have like the hands in their pictures on top of the ball joint. It's like,
Or the
how
guy
did
that
you
was
play
playing
that
Mortal
way?
Kombat like this.
This way. Yeah. It's like,
Well-
how is that possible? Yeah.
Where are the bearded guys? We need them.
I said I was going to stay for a few minutes. I ended up being here for a long time, Mike. I'm really sorry, but I do have to take off now. So
Where else you got to go? What do you got to do?
I got to get ready, man. I got company coming tomorrow. So
You've got company
They got to
coming
play the
tomorrow.
Infinity Game Board.
You got to go out and get the Infinity Game Board, bro.
I can't wait for the
No.
Infinity Game Watch. That's gonna be awesome.
yeah. So you guys have a good night, man. Thanks for letting me come on.
I gotta go
Goodbye,
too. I
Sierra.
gotta prepare for a live stream.
Oh, that's right.
Oh yeah, you guys are doing that.
Yeah.
Mandalorian's
I can hang. I don't
Mandalorian's
have to
so good
prepare.
this week.
Exactly. I have to prepare. He's good. He's fine.
Is that a Mando stream happening tonight?
Yeah.
Absolutely. The midnight stream.
Nice.
Got a lot to discuss.
Later, guys.
All right, I gotta go
You
eat
don't-
too. So
Bye, guys.
everybody's leaving.
Oh, it's
Yeah.
just Mike and I now.
Yep.
Yeah, we all kind of like trickle in and trickle out at the same way that it does. C'est la vie.
See, a lot of people don't know this, Mike, but the we talked about pinball a lot on this show, but it still works.
Yeah.
Because it's the Infinity Game Table. It's an infinite amount of pinball talk.
We did talk about this earlier. There is a possibility Pinball FX could come to it. They do have pinball flippers on the Infinity Game board that's coming out, and a set of legs where you can raise it and put it on a slant. However, DMod had a really good comment. If it has the same processor that the original
Yes.
Infinity Game Table had, it's not going to be a good experience.
Unless it's customized, because Zen can do that. They can, although DMod would know how to do those customizations. So, yeah. They Infinity FOMO table.
Infinite FOMO table.
All you, Mike.
Well, I think we're just about ready to put a pin in it because it is 12:58 here, and you've got. When is your show, anyways?
In 30 minutes.
Oh, in 30 minutes.
I got to get some Godzilla in though, right? Because
You
go
do
ahead,
have-
go ahead. You can continue your show. I'll just.
You do have to get some Godzilla in because I had another 300 million game again today. You got to get your numbers up. Those are rookie numbers, Justin. You got to pump those numbers up. So I'll ask you a question now, Justin. Can you still hear me, or are you playing Godzilla? He's gone. He's gone. I knew this would happen. Ooh, DMod says he's going to buy one for science and let us know. I appreciate that. I love his actions. No, console fanboy, I won't be getting the Infinity Game Board. I already have a 24-inch Infinity Game Table, so I think this is an item I'm going to pass on. Me and my daughter just play, play the Infinity Game Table itself. Yeah, I know Justin's after losing a lot of weight, guys. That's those ice cream sandwiches. I've got to get into doing some of this before we get together in Cleveland. I love how he plays. He's much more animated than I am. I'm sorry. I'm distracted by Justin here. Dang it! Gosh, dang it!
What happened?
Did you get 300 million?
Close.
Close.
Should I do another level? Okay.
So no, Justin, come back. That son of a bee. $2 super chat from Stringer Films. I like ice cream sandwiches. Who the hell doesn't? Thanks, Stringer Films. I felt like a huge guy next to him the other weekend. Man, Justin's after losing so much weight. I'm so proud of him. I love how animated it is while he's playing this. I was playing this right before I came up, so I'm getting a little bit of FOMO right now. We got Conti here in the chat, and Conti told me that his top score, Conti, you're still somewhere around 500 million, but your normal game is around 250 million, correct? I have to ask him a question when he gets back. This is killing me.
We can't tell what's happened yet. We'll send a report as soon as we know.
Here we go. There it is. He'll be back.
Godzilla has once again returned to the ocean.
I blew it.
Justin, don't leave again. Honestly, I can't do anything but just watch you play. You're so animated. So I've got to ask you a serious question here now. Like, I watched a video from the guys from Straight Down the Middle on when you first get your pinball machine, when you take it out of the box and when you set it up. And what they talked about is they actually raise the back legs like an inch. I think it is. The back leg lifters an inch. No one leaves them flat down. What'd you do with your pinball table? Did you leave them flat or did you raise them up a little bit on the back? This is all new to me now, so I'm a little confused because you got that level on the play field, but my table is tilted up like they told me to do.
Oh yeah, so I use the app called Pinball Guy.
Okay,
And
Pinball
so
Guy.
there's an app called Pinball Guy, and yeah, you have your game at 6.5 degrees. That's what I have. My Jurassic Park is at 6.3, and then the Godzilla is at 6.5. So you punch that into Pinball Guy, and you take the glass off, and you put it on the machine about middle into it, and it keeps on telling you, like, hey, you got to lift this side, you got to do that side, and then the magical words come out and say, perfect, 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 and then it's all like, you can get off the floor now and come up. It's good. That's what I did. I don't know if that's the best way to do it, but it feels like when I didn't have it set up correctly, it didn't feel like the arcades that I have locally.
Yeah.
I could feel like this is off, right? And so then I went back to the arcades and I took the Pinball Guy. Now, you can also measure on the glass. There's an option for that. So I started going to all the pinball places and start seeing what their settings are at. And they all seem like they're in that 6.5 to 7 range. And so
Okay.
I just kept on moving the feet until I got it to the level. And on both Jurassic Park and Godzilla, the back is more than the front. But it wasn't like I intentionally was just trying to do that. It's just whatever the Pinball Guy app was telling me to do.
MG says he likes to rock 6.4. Stringer Films, $2 super chat. Reminds me of the Boogie Nights scene with firecrackers. I don't know what he's talking about.
You're going to have to watch Boogie Nights to find out.
Oh, I've watched Boogie Nights quite a few times. I'm a big Heather Graham fan. So that was the one question I had to ask you. Now, what else was it? We were noticing when you were playing pinball. Justin, you've lost a considerable amount of weight. Congratulations, brother.
Thanks, man.
This ice cream sandwich diet
telling
sounds
you.
like a real winner.
It's great. It's fantastic. I'm really happy with the weight loss, and I feel like I'm eating a ton. It's not
crazy.
What do you call it? It's like I'm not stuffing myself at lunch. I'm stopping when it's really portions. Like my wife is basically saying, this is what you're going to eat today. And that's it. But it feels more food because I have breakfast now. I normally never had breakfast.
Well,
and I have dessert.
It's a good idea to have breakfast because
I used to
breakfast
skip.
starts your metabolism for the day.
That probably was really hurting me. And then I would gorge myself at lunchtime and then starve myself till dinner and gorge myself then. And now I have breakfast about 30 minutes after I wake up. And then 2 hours later, I have a snack, like a cookie. But that's it. It's just one cookie. That's it. And then I'm good. Then I have lunch. Then at 3, I have another snack. Could be a shake, protein shake. And then I have a dinner. And then I have an ice cream sandwich at night. And that's it. And then I'll have a beer from time to time, typically when I'm streaming. But it's just one beer. That's it. Like, done. I will have some whiskey with so today I'll probably go over my limit a little bit.
Pitbull said we could have just talked to him the whole time.
Yeah, did you know that Arcade 1UP is forbidden to make any cabinets because Pitbull has some? And he was chatting. He was like, they definitely shouldn't come out with that cabinet because I own that one. You know, like, hey, tell Arcade 1UP that Pitbull owns that cab. They shouldn't make it. We got to consult Pitbull anytime Arcade 1UP comes out with a new machine. You can't.
So, Stringer Films with the justification of his earlier chat. He didn't need to make it a super chat. Justin is the kid in the back throwing fireworks. $2 US dollars. $2 US dollars. Anyways, Justin, I am tired. It's late. You have another show to go to. I would like to get more Godzilla.
I'm not keeping you here. Enjoy. Bye.
Oh, no. Do you want to go longer then?
Oh, now we have to go longer, right?
Yeah, well, now we have to. I do intermittent fasting also. I've never really thought of doing intermittent fasting. That's what Restalgia's doing. Restalgia's lost 135 pounds in just 2 months.
What?
He cut off one of his arms. It's just gone.
So I did, first of all, like, I would say there's a million diets out there, and there's probably, I don't know, like overeating all the time is probably a bad diet, but any regimen that you can be consistent to, that you see good results in, that's not making you more unhealthy, that's probably good. But there's also the diet that doesn't work for you, because if you're constantly, so I've been on a diet where it was, I would freak out. I would cheat. Like, my wife's like, you should eat this. I'm like, okay, I'm going to do the diet. She's doing the diet. I'm doing the diet. I lose weight. This is great. And then I'm alone. She's not around. I'm like driving off, and I'm like, I'm going to get some Skittles. And then next thing you know, I just gorge myself from Casey's and like eat 2 pizzas. It didn't work.
So Stringer Films has now started singing basically Sister Christian with his super chats.
I see. So that diet didn't work because I couldn't really stay in that regiment, But then with this one, it was like I get to eat, and I only pick things that I enjoy. So breakfast has an orange, and I'm like, dang, I didn't realize I liked orange. So I kept on trying different things that are within the diet that I did like. I do like salad, but with the salad dressing, but it's going to be low calorie. But I want peppers in it because I like peppers. So I was never eating something that I actually didn't like. There's always like, and my wife kept on saying, here's a list of things you can have. Be selfish. Pick exactly what you really, really want as long as it's in this list. And I'm just like, well, I want this and I want that. And she's like, for dessert, what do you want? I'm like, I can have dessert? Yeah, in this diet, you can have dessert. I'm like, I want the freaking like ice cream sandwich. She's like, fine, I'm going to order you a whole bunch of 130 calorie ice cream sandwiches. And I'm like, can I have one every day? She's like, yeah, you can have one every day. This diet is stay under 1,800 calories, eat whatever the heck you want, but spread it out throughout the day. And I just stuck with it since December, and I lost 20 pounds.
Gary Hardy says he used to do keto. He loved it, but it's not sustainable. Very strict, and most people can't even reach full ketosis. Sugars everywhere.
Yeah, that's what John D did to lose like 100 pounds. It was intermittent fasting. So his was, I tried that for a while, and I didn't understand what intermittent fasting meant, but it was explained to me. You basically have a window in which you can eat, and then you have a window where you can't eat.
Yeah. And
then he combined that with, eat less, move more. That's Stringer's diet.
That's not a bad plan.
So if we keep this up, Stringer's going to buy you your next pinball machine. So how long is this song?
I'm just waiting. I'm waiting for him to finish the song. That's all I'm doing.
Have we hit the chorus yet?
I will say the most success I've ever had dieting was I did Atkins back when I was in a situation where it was before I met my wife, and my last girlfriend had just broke up with me, and I was about a little bit less than the size I am now.
Is this before or after you saw Fast and the Furious?
This was long after I saw Fast
Okay,
and the
okay.
Furious.
I'm
So
caught up.
what I did was I did like Atkins. Atkins was still a thing then. So all I ate was meat, but at the time I was working out a ton and like constantly doing some kind of like physical fitness. That worked great. But I was only 25 at the time. Now I'm much older. I don't have that same metabolism that I used to. So I found it very challenging in these later years to really stick to any diet. Also, I love food. Like, honestly, I could be on the best diet, and then I'm like, look at that big greasy burger.
Well, for sure when we go to where are we going again? Cleveland?
Cleveland Gaming Classic or Expo, or
Yeah.
I can't remember what it is.
So I have an app where I track my weight. So
Yep.
every morning I weigh myself and then I put it in. And you can see these little like where I'm like losing weight, totally cheated, losing weight, totally cheated. And there's two big ones, and it's traveling with you guys. So it's like I went to Vegas with B and was like, yep. B likes to eat too, man.
Oh yeah, B does. Yeah, and this is a great statement here. I think what people these days don't like is that there are 3 items in regards to losing weight. Calorie deficit, 100%. Weight Watchers has been around for years. It actually works. Move more. Yeah, you got to do physical activity. You just can't sit down all the time. And time. It takes time. People get so disappointed when they start dieting and the results are slow, especially when you hit a plateau. I remember I did Weight Watchers with my wife one time. I didn't really understand what Weight Watchers was. So I went in and I had like a down week where I was frustrated because I had followed everything and I didn't really lose much weight. And I remember I was there and I was just like, and some woman looks at me and she goes, "Way to go. Woohoo." And I walked up to the car and I was like, that bitch, man. Like, she was making fun of me. And then my wife was like, "No, that's what Weight Watchers is. Everybody's supportive here." And I was like, "Are you sure?" Because it really seemed like she was being sarcastic to me.
Man. Well, sometimes when people comment or make say something, they that's what will. If Fast and the Furious is laggy, then it's an
Intermittent Fast and the Furious. Okay, so
yeah.
really quick question before you go. I did a video earlier today on Fast and the Furious Arcade 1UP. Is it possible where the FCC filings aren't out yet, this cab doesn't have Wi-Fi or an online component? P-Dubs mentioned sometimes the FCC filings just don't come out until months after the cabinets come out. But is there a possibility this cab could not have Wi-Fi? It's likely this cab doesn't have online racing. And what about this whole thing about possibly linking cabinets? Do you think that's
I can't
real,
comment
fake?
on it. I know the answer.
Yeah, that's too bad.
Yeah. So there's a thumbnail that was being created that I have access to.
Got you.
I know the before and after, and it's very clear the answer. Let's put it that way. Like, because it's like it'll be in your face. The answer.
It's just like a big cable going everywhere.
No. You're either going to be like, "Oh my God, it doesn't have Wi-Fi," or "Oh my God, it does have Wi-Fi." I don't know. The answer will be clear.
All right.
I will say that and was that the video today or did you do it yesterday?
I don't know. Everything just runs together.
Okay. I will say a theory that I hadn't heard that is a pretty interesting one is time crisis, and whether that is which I like, when I do these shows, because I have worked with Arcade 1UP in the past.
Yeah,
I try to disclose everything I know, so I do know what's coming out 420 in detail. I have no clue anything past that. So the theory of time crisis is interesting, and this is me just straight up speculating. What's interesting about Time Crisis is the original one, game number 1, only had 1 gun. But the Arcade 1UP leak had 2 guns. But it's not just going to have Time Crisis. It's going to have Point Blank. So Point Blank is going to be a lot of fun with 2 people. So you got to have 2 guns. But then you threw out the idea, what if they rethought it and they make Time Crisis linkable to a second cab. Never heard of that idea. You're the first person I've maybe it's said somewhere in the chat, but I've never thought it through and go, did they pull it from coming? Because remember, the leak said it was going to come out last year. So why did they pull it? And then they couldn't do Time Crisis 2 because the chipset for that is, like the emulation is harder on that one. So maybe you got something there. I don't know.
I don't know. This is probably my most harebrained theory ever. But when I was watching Fox last night, and Fox was doing his video, and he was talking about Arcade 1UP was trying to develop some kind of split screen technology for these cabinets. I was like, dude, if they're going to link Fast and the Furious, why not make it available for Time Crisis 2? That way you avoid the split screen.
Yeah, the way I was thinking of it is, could you get away? Not that I would want this, but it's just, could Arcade 1UP reason this? We can lower the price, and majority of the people are only going to buy one cab anyway. We'll make it all one player. We'll do one gun. That's how they lower the price. You don't have to worry about a split screen or anything like that because the game is Time Crisis, only one player. If you really want two player, buy two.
Yeah.
Which is a small percentage of people, but also that percentage of people that want to buy two would actually, it would kind of look like you have a Time Crisis 2 with two screens. And then when you play, you're side by side on two different screens. Small percentage of people would want to do that, and they would have a cool experience, especially if it's zero lag, because it's just, you'd have like a gigabit Ethernet between the two, right?
And for people worried about buying multiple Arcade 1UP cabinets, you probably didn't hear about John D's strategy he had. So basically, when you buy a certain amount of Arcade 1UPs, you might get a discount or a free one. So basically what he's done is he's gone back through his collectibles, found the old Subway Sub Club cards. You're going to get 2 stickers every time you buy an Arcade 1UP. When you get 12 stickers, you've earned yourself a free cabinet.
Yeah, that's funny. But Jason has a good point. If they wanted to do two-player, why don't they do an ultra-wide screen? And that also makes sense.
That's a good point, too.
Because that could be their, we're going to do a 16:9 or a 21:9. Probably 16:9 would be, 24-inch would be easy to do. X-Men 6-player is an example of that. Just do a 24-inch, 32-inch widescreen, and there you go.
All right, last point, and we're going to clue it up on this. Finally going back to Arcade 1UpDate today. So you have an Arcade 1UpDate show, and thank you again, Stringer Films, for the comedy and the super chats, by the way. So you do an Arcade 1UpDate show where you do a product announcement. It should have been maybe that 1UpDate show. It's not like there wasn't an actual update to cover on the Arcade 1UpDate show today. That was my other problem. Last night, sorry, been dealing with a cold for a while. Code Mystics put out a pretty significant update for Killer Instinct that improved a lot of things. Yet we had an Arcade 1UpDate show where it wasn't discussed at all today.
Yeah. Yeah. So I think I know why.
Okay.
It's yet again just Code Mystics doing it.
Yeah.
100% on their own, has nothing to do with Arcade 1UP. Arcade 1UP probably didn't. Maybe they paid it. Maybe they paid for it. Wait, before when they did the thing, didn't they have to? They're like out of their own goodwill. Code Mystics made these new features for Arcade 1UP, but they couldn't push it to production without like paying for it, right?
Yeah.
So I think they did pay for it in the end, the license to the upgraded. But wouldn't Arcade 1UP pay for the patch for the audio out on the HDMI?
You would think so.
And you'd think Arcade 1UP would want to announce that.
You would think so.
Even just with a community post.
You would think so.
Or like a tweet like Code Mystics did.
Yeah.
How about this? Maybe they've done this already. Someone logs in as Arcade 1UP on Twitter and just simply retweets the freaking Code Mystic and just say, love these guys.
Yeah. I did that.
Yeah. You're doing what Arcade 1UP should do.
Yeah, probably my favorite tweet I saw last night for the update when it came out was OTG. OTG put a post out and he's like, "Screw it, I don't even consider this an Arcade 1UP machine anymore. This is a Code Mystics machine."
So great. And in some ways that is true because it's a partnership. These are all partnerships. And so it is the Code Mystic machine because they're partnered for, I don't think they're just the developers. They're like partnered on the project.
Yeah, I mean, Code Mystics is like Killer Instinct in the modern sense. Everything you see with Killer Instincts is Code Mystics. So anyways, Justin, you got to go do your show. I'm getting logy, so I'm going to get out of here. Thank you so much, everybody, for tuning in to this 2-hour stream that we did talking about a 7-minute episode of Arcade 1UpDate. This is my new record. I'm doing 3 hours on 5 minutes next time.
Gotta do it. It's the
Gotta
best.
do it. All right. See you guys. Ooh, where's my graphics?
Do the